Hi everyone, welcome to a Facebook Friday. I don't do Facebook Fridays, but today I thought I would come on and I just wanted to share my Stampin' Up story with you. A lot of people don't know me, don't know how long I've been doing this or what's kind of gone on, but I want to explain how I managed to make money crafting. It's as simple as that. So if you are sitting there thinking, oh, I wish I could make money crafting, then sit back, grab yourself a cup of tea and listen to how I've managed it. So, my crafting life started a long time ago. In fact, let me just change that so I can see any comments. So my crafting life started a long time ago, probably about 25 years ago, when I had a neighbour send me a super simple handmade card, but beautiful. And I'd also gone and spent about £60 on family Christmas cards, you know, Merry Christmas, Mum, Dad, Aunt, Uncle, Nan, and everything. And I thought, oh, it must be cheaper to make your own cards. And the card that I'd received that Christmas was so beautiful, so simple. How wrong was I? Now, obviously, it can be cheap to make your own cards if you're making them quite simply. But once I got into this hobby, then I was hooked. Hook, line and sinker. And you can probably see from behind me here, it's not necessarily cheaper, but it's certainly an awful lot more fun. So so I got into crafting. I went to local classes. For those of you that would know, I was close to the craft barn in Lingfield, so it's one of the old original craft shops. I just kind of went there and went and did some classes and just loved it. And then I saw an advert sort of a year down the line where another craft shop was advertising for a craft teacher. Hi, Kim. And so I applied. Don't even know why. I was really scared. Didn't know if I was doing the right thing or anything, but I asked advice from some of the teachers at the craft barn and I went for it. And cut a long story short, I started teaching classes. And that was that. So again, that's years ago now. And then in fact, when I was teaching classes for her, it was card making classes. She asked me, did I want to teach scrapbooking classes? Well, I didn't know what scrapbooking was. Hi, Elaine. And so I Googled, as you did then, I Googled and had a look. In fact, there was a scrapbooking show at Ascot Racecourse that was on. So off I went to there and signed up for a few classes and did a few bits and discovered that I loved scrapbooking too. And I also met a few people there. I found out that there were people running scrapbooking weekends, which I'd never heard of. Crafting weekends? What was this? Morning, Pip. And so I sat there and I booked on. So that was, I think, about October, November time. And there was a scrapbooking retreat on in the January, which I booked onto with a friend. And off we went. And I had an amazing time. I was just like, wow. And in fact, for the next retreat, they actually asked if I would teach there as well. So it was like all a little bit crazy. And I was still working full time in another job at this stage. And but I was teaching here, there and everywhere for people who ever asked me, really. Now, one of those retreats, I was sitting across the table from a lady who basically turned around and asked me. So it was in the day, so Simply Cards and Papercraft magazine didn't exist yet. And in fact, I'm trying to think of oh my goodness, it's probably 10 years ago now, so my mind has gone blank. Quick and Easy Cards hadn't come out yet then either. But at that retreat, there was the editor of Quick and Easy Cards who asked me if I would, if I wanted to be published. Because yes, it does happen exactly like that for everybody. And I went, yeah, okay, then no problem. And then across the table from me was another lady who in fact had just started working at Practical Publishing and asked me if I wanted to be the editor of a card making magazine. Oh, Jackie said she loved our retreats. That was before I even started doing them, to be fair. So of course that happens as well, and someone turns around to you and says, oh, oh, would you like to be the editor of a card making magazine? Which again, I said, yeah, go on then, let's do this. And in fact, Simply Cards and Papercraft was born. And for the first 3 or 4 years of that magazine, I was the person that commissioned all the work. I was the person that all the work came back into. I was the hands in all the photographs of all the step-by-step photographs. And I loved it. And I was still doing this alongside another job as well. So that's kind of how my crafting went. But I have to say, when I was editing lots of craft magazines and things like that, I was also running retreats that Jackie came to. So scrapbooking retreats, I started running my own, Scrapper's Paradise. I think we did about 8 or 9 of those. And, we did everything from sort of 20 people up to nearly 70 people. It was crazy. So we did that. But I think it all just suddenly went a little bit overwhelming. The woman that had asked me at Practical Publishing, she left. It was up in Manchester. I was flying up to Manchester. It's all right. I'm just sitting there going, Jackie says, I've still got a couple of the mags you edited. Yay! So I kind of moved and I came down to a publisher's in Arundel. That was an almighty mistake, and it was all too much. I think just I was producing content for about 8 magazines, and it was just too much. I completely overwhelmed, and you know what? I stopped crafting, and I stopped crafting for 18 months. And then I was still running my scrap club, which had turned into more of a social club because I wasn't actually producing any scrap classes or anything. But there was a group of about 6 to 10 of us that kind of got together and just had the social of a night out, really, and we might craft if we were there. But somebody said they knew a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and should she come along next month? Go on then, no problem. And I was familiar with Stampin' Up. I used to get a few of the American card magazines that I loved. There was a group of magazines. And so I was familiar with them, and I went, yeah, come on then, let's do that. So the following month, a lady, Stampin' Up demonstrator, came along to our scrap club and just shared the catalogue with us, and I just was like, wow, completely overwhelmed, because I loved everything in it. Everything. It was clean, it was contemporary, it was so my style that I loved it. In fact, the only thing I bought that night was the catalogue, because I was just like, I don't know what to have because I want it. Oh, my shopping list is £600 long, and oh my goodness, what do I do? And so I took the catalogue home and I flipped through it from front cover to back cover, and I wrote down a wish list, and as I say, it came to £600, and I was like, wow, okay. And that was for someone who hadn't been crafting for 18 months. So it did spur my creativity, came back. And when I was looking at the starter kit in the catalogue, I just thought, and that was when it was kind of a set starter kit. I kind of sat there and thought, oh, well, I can get about £300 of my wish list for it was £155 then, there, so I can get it cheaper. And then I can get a discount off of my other £300 of my wish list. And so I signed up. That was it. It was as simple as that. I thought, right, okay, let's do this. So then, a couple of weeks after I'd got my kit and that, a friend of mine who was also a crafter, worked in a local craft shop at the time, she said, well, look, why don't I get a few of the girls together, we'll have a fun night in and you can do a party. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing parties. What's this about? No. She went, come on, bit of wine, all this. So there we go. So I ended up having my first party, which was literally just kind of showing the catalogues. It wasn't any structure to it or anything like that. It was all very casual. Well, the ladies there that night ordered £400 worth of stuff, and I earned £100. And I was like, oh, well, that's £100 off my wish list that I don't have to buy. Maybe I can complete my wish list by doing these. And so I did know quite a few crafters. Obviously, I had been crafting for years. I was in the local crafting environment and things like that. But I did share it with friends and family as well, and just kind of did what I wanted to do. So it reignited my, my creativity, and I started running classes again. And I was also doing retreats, and so I'd introduced sort of Stamping Up into the retreats that I was doing. So I joined in the July. I didn't do anything till sort of September. I want to say October was when I had my crafting retreat, my Scrappers Paradise, which is where, I mean, I knew Jackie from before, but Jackie is one of my team, as is Kim. And in fact, Kim and Jackie, who are on this Facebook Live now, are actually my two longest standing team members. Kim has been, is it 10 years? It's 10 years this month. Kim has been with me 10 years this month, and in fact Jackie has been here 10 years in May. So yeah, so we all stay around, but that's quite funny that both of you are on there. So yeah, so I shared it at the craft retreat and everyone was like, oh my goodness, where do I get all this coordinated stuff? Because I think the problem we'd had was that we had all these glorious patterned papers with all these glorious colours in them, and we had all this 12 by 12 cardstock that we had, that you'd have like 200 sheets of green cardstock. You'd bring out your bit of pattern paper and go, right, one of them must match, and it didn't. Out of all these green cardstock, or bit of cards as it was, we now call it cardstock, but bits of card, it wasn't right. It wasn't right, and you're just like, oh. And Stampin' Up completely solved that problem for us. We just sat there and went, oh, there's the pattern paper, and we know we need that colour, that colour, that colour, and that colour, which all goes with it, and you pulled it out and it matched perfectly. But not only that, you know, the ink matched, the ribbon matched, the embellishments matched, and it was something that other people just weren't doing at the time. And to be fair, not many people do it now either. But it was just made it so easy, and I think I'd given up because it took, like, one day it took me 5 hours to get out all the things that might go on this card or a project or whatever it is I was doing, and by the time I'd got everything out, I was just too overwhelmed, and I put it all back and that was it. Whereas with Stampin' Up, you can get your stuff out, or everything that coordinates out, in about 10 minutes, and yeah, job done. So still reading comments, sorry. So yeah, so that was it, and so everybody who was scrapbooking was just like, where do I get this stuff? How do I do it? And so I had my first 3 recruits unintentionally, again, a couple of months after I'd run the retreat. And so I was growing a team. And so then I think in the sort of January, the following January, I was looking at my figures one day, just being interested. And I suddenly realised that actually Stampin' Up had launched their first incentive trip that year. It was 2 days, or two nights, so 2 nights, 3 days in Monaco. And I was like, oh, I fancy that. We'd been through a bit of a rough patch as a family, and we hadn't had holidays for years, and I thought, oh, 3 days in Monaco, wouldn't that be lovely? And so I realised that I was already about half the way there, and I was halfway through the year, and I was halfway to the incentive trip, and I was like, oh, do you know what? This might actually be a possibility. And so I kind of set some goals, worked out what I needed to do, and did work hard and achieve my first incentive trip. So I kind of am here to say that yes, you can earn an incentive trip with Stampin' Up during your first year, because I did it. And you can earn an incentive trip when you're not running Stampin' Up full time. I was working full time in another job when I achieved that. And I don't say that to brag, and I'm not the only person to do it, so other people have achieved that as well. So whether you work full time or whether you think, well, I've just joined so I can't achieve it, you can achieve Stampin' Up in your first full year with them, and you can achieve the incentive trips and things like that. But obviously you don't have to. There's just lots of opportunities that are available to you that are there for the taking if you want to, but nobody pressurises you into doing anything that you don't want to do, which is what I loved as well, because I am really Mrs. Cynical, and I did kind of sit there and go, what's the catch? What's the catch? And there honestly isn't a catch to joining. Yeah, it's as simple as that. There is a minimum requirement to put through each quarter, but as long as you're doing that, which is £276 catalogue price. So if you're putting through £276 catalogue price of goodies every quarter, then you can stay. And you stay for another 3 months and another 3 months and another 3 months. Now, some people can do that buying for themselves. And some people will share it with the catalogues with friends and families, and a couple of them will get together and they'll order and do the minimums that way. But yeah, I just kind of found I was doing it. I was just sharing. I loved Stampin' Up. I loved the products. I loved the ethos behind the company. And I just found that by sharing it, people loved it too. And it was as simple as that, because I say there wasn't so much around then with coordinating things, and in fact there wasn't even die cutting around and die cut machines when I first started. So that was kind of it. So, and it's kind of grown from that. Only not last December, the December before, so December 2017. I actually left what ended up being a part-time job, and I now do Stampin' Up full-time. So yes, I am very lucky. I have been doing it. This is my 11th year doing Stampin' Up, and I love it. I absolutely love it. There's never been somewhere that I've kind of felt part. And I know it sounds cheesy, but part of just a group of people who just get it. We all like pretty things. We all like being able to enjoy our creativity by making things, and we all get excited by a bit of pattern paper. But everybody understands. Everybody understands. They don't look at you weird and go, "What are you doing?" Everyone understands, and it's really lovely to be part of something like that. And I have to say that since Stampin' Up has been in my life, it has enriched it in so many ways. And again, I know it's a bit cheese, but it has. From the number one thing being the friends that I've made. There are friends here that I wouldn't have met through crafting or through Stampin' Up. And in fact, to say, Kim and Jackie are proof of that. And I didn't tell them, I didn't pay them to come on the video on this Facebook Live and say so. But yeah, it's just an amazing thing to be part of something where everybody just is so nice to each other. As a team, we are known as the fun team. We get together and we have fun. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's all about bringing a bit of fun and enjoyment into your life. But not just that, we are a little bit serious as well. So Stampin' Up have annual rewards and awards. And I'm so thrilled to say that last year, so November, the awards were announced, and in the overall top performing demonstrators in the UK, 4 out of the top 10 were all Stampin' Stars, my Stampin' Up team. So we know how to have fun. We know how to have great get-togethers. We know how to be a lovely team supporting each other, but we know how to work and achieve things if that's what you want to do as well. So yeah, I just love it. So I mean, I've achieved every incentive trip since that day. On my blog over the next 5 days, in fact today has just started it off, but over the next 5 days, I'm just sharing some of the things that I love about Stampin' Up. The biggest part being my team. I have to say, I am a bit of an introvert, and I hate shouting about my own successes. I find it, I don't know, I just find it a bit cringy, but I love shouting about all my team's successes. So they don't get away with it. If they're introverted or a little bit shy, no, you're going to get whoops from me. And all sorts of things. We recognise people in all sorts of ways. And I recognise people as well. So, you know, as there are opportunities to promote through the company, and you get some rewards from Stampin' Up, but you also get rewards from me as well as being part of my team. And I just love it. I've travelled the world. I've been to conventions and events from anywhere from Utah to Germany to the UK. I honestly have travelled the world. We have gone from Thailand to Utah to Alaska to the Caribbean, around Europe. It's just been crazy, and I've just loved every single minute. And you do feel part of a family. Cheese again, but you do. Jackie says, one of the reasons I joined. I'm not sure what one of the reasons were that you joined, Jackie. You'll have to tell me what you meant by that. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to come on and share this because I wanted you to know what it's like. And this is me being honest. This is me being Mrs. Cynical. And this is me telling you what I love about being part of the company. It's the friendships, and obviously craft supplies at a discount. But it's also earning money as well. So there's all sorts of ways you can earn money, and I'm not going to go into that now. You can see some of the things that I do if you follow me. But what I did want to do is kind of go through... I'm just going to go flip screens now and show you if this is something that you think you might want to do. At the moment, it's a great time. Just this month, though, we are in a promotion period called Celebration, and that means until the end of March. Normally the deal is pick £130 off any catalogue, clearance rack, whatever you like, for just £99, and that's free delivery to you. And that's the deal all year round. So if you're listening to this video, not during January to March, or even it won't be January because I haven't done it then. So if you're not listening to this in March 2019, then that's the deal generally. £99 and you pick £130 of your choice. But up until the end of March, just this month, you can pick £170 of your choice. £170! That's £71 free. £71 free of your choice. It's not a set amount of stamp sets. If you want a big shot and some dies and things like that, you can do that. It's really up to you what you pick. And it's up to you whether you pick it as what you like as a person who's just doing it for themselves, or whether you set yourself up for the next 3 months classes that you think you might want to run. Lots of demonstrators run classes. They love that. They love the teaching aspect of card making. Some people go into cafes and do what we call a coffee and a card, or a cuppa and a card, just sharing that. And people just share it in a whole variety of ways. And again, you can do that if you want to do that. I don't pressurise anybody to do anything. But I'm also here as one of the top demonstrators in the UK, so and 47th in the world out of over 50,000 demonstrators. I'm number 47. That's not bad, is it? That's a little thing to shout about. Whoop, whoop. So I do know I have been doing this a long time. What I pick and choose what I want to do. I don't do everything. There isn't enough time in the day to do everything. You can run your business online, or you can run your business face to face. It's entirely up to you if that's what you want to do. Oh, Jackie says the coordinating products. Absolutely, absolutely. It gets all of us, doesn't it? So yes, it's entirely up to you. So £170 worth of products for £99. But there is also another little bit. If I just reach down here, or what have I got leaning against it? So again, just during March, and you can't buy this separately. Oh, let's do that. You're not going to be able to see me, are you? Look! Oh, there you go. So, this is a tote that can't be bought. The only way you can get your hands on this craft tote is by joining as a demonstrator before the end of March. So, it fits a Stampin' Up trimmer in, it fits lots and lots of things in. It's got zips at the back, it's got feet underneath. It's a really thick, washable, thick canvas in these beautiful colours, and great for moving your stuff. It doesn't even have to be a craft tote. It could be a nappy bag if you've got a newborn. It could be anything you want it to be. So it's entirely up to you, but it does take a lot of craft stuff. So that is £125, not just for the tote, that would be expensive, but for £125 you can still pick your £170 worth of goodies for free. That's not for free, well, you know what I mean. £170 worth of goodies plus that tote bag for £125 delivered. So £170 worth of stuff for £99, or £125 including the craft tote, and that is posted to you via UPS, so it's a insured courier delivery service, and it'll be with you within the week. But let's have a look at what, so you go, okay, Nat, let's do this. So yes, if you were to join our team today, then March isn't counted as a first month, but your first quarter would be April, May and June. So you'd have from today until the end of June to put through, buy, sell, share, whatever you want to do, £276 worth of goodies. Now that's catalogue price, so you're not paying that. As an entry-level demonstrator, you get a 20% discount off of that. And you can earn anything up to 38% of that, plus more. There's other ways to do it. You can grow teams and do all sorts of things. And the more you sell, the more money you earn. It's as simple as that. But minimum requirements is £276 catalogue price per quarter, so by the end of June. So you go, right, where do I sign? Let's do this, Nat. Well, let's go over to this. So this is my website. So this is www.natalieoshea, NATALIEOSHEA.co.uk, and literally you've got a join Stampin' Up button there, or you've got a join there. So if we click on there, you'll find lots more information about this. So there we go. Congratulations on your interest in becoming a demonstrator. So it goes through the general information. I hope I'm not making you dizzy. Lots of other things. What do you do as a demonstrator? Will I receive support, and what? How can you make money? Do people really make money at this? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And as I say, I'm now earning a full-time income at this. Now, full-time can mean all sorts of things. Full-time, some people can mean £700 a month. Full-time to other people can mean £4,000 a month. Yes, there are people doing both of those. Do you have to recruit other demonstrators? No, you don't have to, but you can do. What are the minimums? What if you only want to do this as a hobby? Do you have to demonstrate? No, you don't. I mean, if you want to make some money, and if you want to not put your minimums through yourself, then yes, you're going to need to share it, but we can go through ways that you can do that. Do you have to hold stocks? No. How much does it cost to get started? What if I decide it's not for me once I've started? Will you be penalised if you quit? No, you won't. You can resign from Stampin' Up as a demonstrator anytime you want, and there is no penalty. You don't have to give your starter kit back. You do not have to pay the full price of your starter kit back. But from every order after you join up, you get a minimum of 20% discount. So there we go. But yes, you absolutely can't. What kind of incentives will you receive? Where can you get your ideas from? Are there any Stampin' Up events that you can attend? Blah, blah, blah. So I've also got other things here as well. Wondering what I love about being a demonstrator? So these are the blog posts that are going out. So they're repeats actually of blog posts that I did last year. So you can see them all here in one go. So you can go through them. General information about being a demo, why you should become a Stampin' Star, which is our team name, what opportunities are available, what kind of fun can you have, and do you really make friends doing this? Yes, you do. So all you need to do is click on one of these. Is it going to work? There we go. And you get taken to this. So this is the Stampin' Up website, and this is the online independent demonstrator agreement. So this is all the boring stuff, and you have to read it. But I do have to say, it's not written in too much of a boring language. So once you read that bit, you just acknowledge that by ticking that. You then read all of this. But again, it's written in normal language, not all posh language. But once you've done that, so you can print it off if you want to, and you can print that off if you want to, and you acknowledge that. And then you continue. And it says, choose your starter kit. So you've got the two options there. So one is the £170 for £99, and the other one is the £125 for the £170. So let's just do option one for the moment. So do you have a Stampin' Rewards starter kit code? So most of you, the answer for this will be no. If you've had a party with a Stampin' Up demonstrator and you've earned hostess rewards, or Stampin' Rewards as they are now known, so for every order over £150 you earn Stampin' Rewards, and what you can do, you can spend those Stampin' Rewards on anything in the catalogue, but you can also put the money towards your starter kit. So if you did do that, you would have a code and you could say yes, but for the majority of people the answer will be no. Apply that. Choose your free suppliers pack. Why not? Have some catalogues, have some order forms, do things, give yourself the opportunity to share them if you want to. So in here you can now add anything you want to. Now you can search them under catalogue number. You can search them under, so if I go, Big Shot, now it's bringing up, it's bringing up everything to do with Big Shot, but oh goodness me, never mind. And just be careful, because that will bring up everything European, so it will have the German and the French things in here as well. But I tell you what, so I know that, let's do, thinking what to do now. So if I add that, so then it goes down here and it says, oh, there we go, out of your £170, you've still got £129.50 to go. So do you know what? Let's add a few more things. So you cannot go a penny over the £170. So I'm going to keep adding this until I get a little bit closer. So there we go, I've got £21.50. Let's add a few of those until I go down. So get as close as you can. It's going to tell me I can't do it now. You've met it. So you've got £2.75. So if you can find something for £2.75, knock your socks off. But let's leave it at that, let's say. So you'll do a much better job than I will. So then you put in your names, email addresses, contact details, your shipping address, Now this question here, is your spouse going to be a supporting demonstrator? So some people do run this as a business together, but rather than have two people being a demonstrator, one of you is a demonstrator and one of them is your supporting demonstrator. Or if you have a carer or you need some help, then often having the supporting demonstrator doesn't cost anything, but it just means they can attend events and things like that with you as well. So literally you would do that. You make sure that my name is there, upline details, and that's it. And I don't think it's going to let me do this. Oh, don't really want to do this, do we? Could be here all day at this rate. I just do ng.co.uk, home phone. But your birth date you don't need, shipping address you do need. In town you need. H2, 7LP. Can I do that any quicker? So everything that has a star next to it you have to do. So now I'm not going to have a supporting demonstrator. Continue. And there we go. So you now need to review these information. So make sure all this information on here is right. If you are VAT registered and you're running this as a company, then you do need to put your information in there. For the majority of people that won't happen. And again, click the details button to review your starter kit items. So if you want to make sure of what you've got, oh yes, that's what I wanted, marvellous. And you can go back and edit that if you want to. And then put your payment information in. And that is it. It's as simple as that. That's all you need to do. It needs to be a card, a Visa or a MasterCard, and that's it, £99 and you're in. So, what do you think? Do you want to come and have some fun in your life? Do you want to come and make some money crafting? Do you want to be able to sit here in 10 years' time and tell the story of how you've travelled around the world for free, how you've make money crafting, how you have given up your full-time or even part-time job and you now do this full-time? I love it. I've loved it for nearly 11 years now and I wouldn't change it for the world. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to my story. I'd love for you to become a Stampin' Star and join our team. There are over 200 of us around the country. So yeah, come and join the fun. I'd love to have you. And it's as easy as that. If you're watching a replay of this, then I will put all the links below. And again, if you're watching this on Facebook and you don't like my page, then hit that and Facebook will tell you when I go live on other instances. I'm normally making cards then. And if you're watching this replay on YouTube live and you don't, YouTube, and you don't subscribe to my channel, then again, if you click subscribe button, then YouTube will tell you when it goes live as well, when I upload videos to there as well. So yeah, if you've got any questions at all, I would love to hear from you. You can just email me at natalie@natalieoshay.co.uk. I've also got a contact box on my website as well, or give me a call, 07990 534 538, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. No pressure at all, complete honesty. That's what I'm all about. I'm not going to sit here and try and sell it to you. I'm just here sharing with you what I love about it and how you can be part of it too. So I'm going to leave you there. Thanks very much for joining me. I hope you've got to the end of this because it is quite long, but I hope you've enjoyed listening to my crafty life for the last sort of 25 years now. So that's it. Come and join the fun. See you later.